And welcome to the Opal Cave. Here we got a couple pieces of rough that we'll look at real quick. It's our third attempt to try and find a stone that'll fit these two rings. I've got a friend who's got a birthday on Tuesday, and I'm trying to put one of these together for her. So, hopefully, this one right here or this one right here will fit one of those two. So let's just cut and see what we find. There's our color bar on this one. I'm not sure if it goes all the way through and all the way around. I'm not seeing anything on this end. Same thing here on this one. This one looks like we pretty much have color all the way through it. So this one may end up cutting a bigger stone than this one, but we'll have to see. Start with the big one. See where we got color. It's very different out here in this light. Indoors, I was looking at this. There looked like it'd be a nice stone right here on the end of this. Let's check this back side for color. Not seeing anything yet. Nothing yet. See, that's the color bar right there that just doesn't have color in it right now. You can get those color bars that aren't color bars. They're just where it tried but didn't. So if you're interested in a little more information on the parcel that I posted yesterday with a tad of sarcasm sprinkled in, it's been long enough ago. It's been about a month since I ordered it. So I order so many parcels. Sometimes it's hard to remember all the details on it. But what I remember, well, what I for sure remember is it was somebody that I see posting stuff for sale quite often, and they posted a parcel that was like, I didn't see a whole lot of color in it, and I thought, well, let me give them a chance to, maybe they don't have good pictures or whatever, they didn't have any video on it. And I said, hey, do you have any video or better pictures of that parcel? And they sent me a video, and with the apology saying that the color was, the video didn't show the color and as well as it was, and it was really a nice parcel. And anyway, long story short, I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. They assured me that it was way better than it looked, and then, like I even said yesterday, they said, after looking at it closely, I think I've way undervalued it, but I'll still sell it at that price for you. See, this is our color bar without color. See, there's no color there. So it looks like we're going to have a stone maybe on this side right here. That's what we're looking at. Anyway, so I bought it. I haven't bought anything else from that seller waiting. I asked for tracking on it probably 5 different times because it took so long getting here. And right every few days I'd be like, hey, you do have tracking on that package? I haven't seen it, and I'm just kind of curious why it's taking so long. And there was excuse after excuse after excuse about why they didn't have tracking on it, and I was starting to wonder if they'd even sent it. And then it finally arrived yesterday, and it was as you saw it in the video. So the follow-up on it is I messaged that person just saying, hey, this is not what you told me it was. I'll send it back for a refund. And the guy said, well, I must have just sent you the wrong parcel, because that parcel I sent you was amazing, something like that. And I was like, you know what, honestly, I'm just done. Just refund my money. I don't think you accidentally sent me the wrong parcel. I think you're just passing off garbage. And then I actually had a couple people that had watched the video that messaged me and correctly guessed who I bought it from, and had similar stories where he sends them garbage. They let him know that they're not happy with it. He says, well, I'll get you something out you're going to be happy with. and weeks later, nothing shows up. And by that point, people have just forgotten about it, moved on, and don't ask for a refund. So what I did is I sent a link to that video I put on last night, just a link, saying here's the parcel you sent me if you want a closer look at it to make sure it's the one you thought you sent. And obviously with the hint that, I mean, I didn't say in the video who I got it from, but the hint was there that I probably would, you know, if they didn't give me a reason not to. And so I got this long sob story, and you know, life is hard and things are going tough and all this stuff's going on, and they probably just made a mistake. And I said, okay, that's fine, just go ahead and refund my money. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And this is really just getting smaller and smaller. We're not picking up any color under this side. Wait, just starting to see a wink right there. See that? There it is. It might be close. So anyway, there's a long story. Message is a message. If I don't know, I don't really want to go into it and drag it out, but they said that they would try to refund it to me, but they didn't know how to use PayPal. And I had paid them on PayPal, so I know they know how to use PayPal. And they would need a few days to be able to figure out how to do it. And I was like, come on, you received payment in PayPal. The same account that you transfer those funds to is the one you can use to refund me. And I ended up I said, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll make it easy on you. I'll send you an invoice. Then all you have to do is click pay, and your PayPal will walk you through it. So they did refund the money on the parcel. And the agreement was that I wouldn't say who it was. I will just give you this. This advice will save you from a lot of the sellers, and that is, believe your eyes. If you don't see a whole lot of color in the package, it's because there's not a whole lot of color in the material. Facebook isn't lowering quality. That's a red flag. When people are posting Facebook lowers quality on stuff you can't see color on, you can see plenty of color on material that has color. Facebook does not hide the color. This right here does not get hidden just because you put it on Facebook. It doesn't get better when you get it. Just know that going in. So if you avoid the sellers that are saying, hey, Facebook lowers quality, that's why you don't see a whole lot of color here. Nope, the material doesn't have any color. That's why it's not showing color. That will save you from about half of the people passing off garbage. Now we're only about 2 hours from the A&K Opal's live auction. I'm hoping a couple of you will get on there. I don't know if I'll have this video out and any of you will see it before that auction happens. But 2 of you can get on there, buy something, mention me, and get $100 off your first purchase. This is a nice little stone right here. It's facing it's kind of a funny shape, so we're going to have to try and figure out how, if there's color underneath this sand, we could use that ridge line right there as our dome. Not really seeing much there. That sand kind of eats up that spot. Hopefully that doesn't go all the way up through to there and ruin the whole thing. Looks like it's likely to. That sand's eating us up. Eaten up by sand. I think either way we're going to end up with that, or we still have the pendant. Maybe this would be a good one to try for the pendant. Something like that. It's kind of a fat, short pendant, teardrop. So we're going to try and get something out of this. Anyway, I apologize. It's getting really super old to buy thousands of dollars worth of stuff. Try to do my due diligence. Try to make sure that I'm making smart purchases. But at least part of it is I have a few places I can go to get stuff, but I'm always looking for I'm looking for other sources, partly for you, partly for me. And so Instead of just consistently ordering off the places that have been good to me like I should, I keep looking for other people that might be honest sellers, and so whether the responsibility lies on me, I'll take that. It's part of the risk I take when I do that, and it's a given. But at times it gets frustrating. I mean, 500 carat parcel shows up, and there's not 15 carats of cuttable material in it, and even that's not all that. You notice I'm not out here, cutting any of that stuff. This is actually a nice little stone here if we manage to get this sand out of it. Either way, I mean, even if that sand eats all of it up, we got probably the teardrop that we're looking for the pendant. There's a pretty good chance we can cut that out of it. So let's get a base here. Maybe we should go for this side. This whole side's about to come clean. That sand might be deep enough it won't show in the face. We can try for that. Yeah, look at that. Might even be able to get that stone out of it. Not likely. It's not quite that big. Question is that sand going to come in and ruin it if we try? Because I think that sand rolls around and comes all the way up to there. It's not showing here, so it obviously kind of tapers down as it goes. We might be able to roll that out and just leave the sand in the bottom. One of the this white material leaves that milky film on the color bar and is a little bit frustrating, but one of the good things about it is on a crystal, you could never cut something that had any of that sand in the bottom because you'd see it from the top very clearly. But this one, we might be able to get away with it, having a beautiful stone that just has a little bit of something on the bottom that wasn't ideal. But okay, let's put a pin in. I think we're to the point of dopping both of these up. I think we can go in on this one. We've got color all the way around on this one. It's just being very kind of schizophrenic in the color bar. This side right here is, I've seen color in it when I roll it just right. I'm not sure. Maybe that's where we'll end up getting our teardrop. See, the color comes around to there, picks up again in here, but we get a nice big high dome. So if we don't end up cutting the ring, we could do the pendant, and I could give the pendant on a chain as the birthday gift. Anyway, to all of you that are positive and kind and nice and helpful and active on the comments and that stuff, I really appreciate it. My sarcastic remarks really were obviously for the 3 or 4 in the peanut gallery that just, I don't understand why they get personally offended if I say, hey, look at this. I bought this from so-and-so. This is not worth what I paid. They act like I'm, desirous of hurting them for no reason or harming them. I wish I could say, look at this. I bought this from so-and-so and it's amazing. But if that's not what happens, that's not what happens. And it's not my fault when, if it's, look, if this stone doesn't work out here, this is 100% on me and luck. This stone was sent to me at fair value and nothing on the seller from whatever happens at this point. That happens. It can happen. Stuff that looks good might not work out. But it's also obvious when people are obviously selling stuff they know is junk and they know it's not worth what they are selling, and they do certain things to make that happen, then when I say something about it, some people get offended, and I'm sorry, but part of this is to protect some of you that don't have a voice and don't have maybe even the experience or the budget to be able to go through what I've gone through trying to find good sellers. I reached out to my my solid supplier, my TV Opal, this morning, saying, hey, I have a budget of X amount of dollars. Could you put together a nice little parcel of 5 to 15 carat cutters for me? It took her about, well, I sent it in the middle of the night Australian time, but first thing this morning in Australia, she responded, we're just washing up some material. Let me sort through it, and I know what you like, so I'll put some aside and send you a video as soon as I get it together. It might be a day or two. And I said, that's fine, no hurry, I'm excited to see it. And I know when I get the video, it's going to be what I want, and I know when I get the material, it's going to look like what it does in the video. That's how it should go. Unfortunately, that's rarely how it goes. Let me dot these up. Is there any chance one of these is going to cut this dude? I don't think it can. Well, there's one way to find out. This is a, sorry, scrambling to pick up stuff here. I believe it's an 8 by 10. So there is a 7, 8. Or maybe it's a 10 by 12. Yeah, that's a 10. Maybe even a 13, 11. No, it'd be a 10 by 12. I mean, 10 by 8. Sorry. So, do we have a 10 by 8 here? It would appear we do. Let's go for that. And then, so this one, when I was doppening, I noticed I dopped it off here a little bit off center because I noticed that this back right here has a crack in it going up that side. When things start drying out, you start seeing stuff. We want to get that piece off of there. So that minimizes this one, but there's still a good chance we can set the little pendant setting. So let me trace some patterns on here and I'll be right back. Well, I was sitting here talking away thinking I was filming and I hadn't hit the button. So I don't know how much I've said, but I'm actually going to try for the largest oval I can get out of this piece, and if it ends up fitting this ring, fine. I don't really want an egg shape, so how close are we? Well, somehow we're already there, so we might end up being smaller than it needed to be. But let's get our oval correct, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we're ready for the next wheel on that one. We want to get this back right here with the crack on it that revealed itself off. Unfortunately, that's the best color on the whole thing, but it's cracked enough it's probably just going to fly off. So unfortunately, maybe it only seems like it, but it seems like it's always the very best color that has to be cut off to fix a problem. So here's our, it's kind of an oddball shape. So I got to be careful not to mess it up. It's kind of a fat bottom short teardrop. Come on. Okay, we're awful close right there. So now we just refine it. And move to the next wheel. We got to hope that that big chip right there just allows us to have a nice high dome on it, but doesn't make us come down so much that it won't fit. We can do some of that here quickly on the medium wheel. Now let's move to the other wheel. Hey. Sorry, I'm getting a cold. So I'm trying not to sniffle too much, but how's that? We're darn near there. With a little bit of wiggle room, we're there. If we take anything off, we want it to be there. Color bar goes clear down to here, so we should be okay with just high doming it and getting what we need. But we really got to start taking that down to be able to make sure our shape is correct. We're hoping when we get down, not only is our shape correct, but our color bar is where we want it. I'm kind of starting to like that little fat teardrop. Tell me what you guys think. Are we down through to the... I don't think we're quite down through to the color bar yet, so... It's probably a good thing, because we haven't got all of the imperfection in the face out. I kind of like that little shape. I didn't know if I would like it, but actually quite a pleasant little shape. I can feel with my finger that we still got a little bit of an issue there on the face that we haven't got out yet. So we're hoping that pretty quickly that color bar pops through the top. Because if it doesn't, I mean, it looks like it should, right? Looks like it's there just waiting. We just keep slowly going down, waiting for it to make an appearance. But on this one where the color bar was kind of wonky, sometimes it just isn't everywhere you think it will be. And you guys will understand this, but this is all I'm asking for on material I get is a chance. I have a chance on this one. If I do it right, and if I have a little bit of luck, we're going to end up with a beautiful stone. Right now, I think the odds are 60-40 against us. A minute ago, I would have said 40-60 against us, 60-40 for us. But the chance is there. That's the fun of cutting opal, is the chance. It's the chance of watching that color bar pop through the top. Did it just come through? I think it's starting to show up. We have it on that lower end. It means we just hopefully need to go just a little bit more. Okay. I think our chances are back up to 50-50. I'm about ready to go to the finishing wheel, so where are we at shape-wise? We're still a little bit big. That's where we want to be. Right to the very end. We've got maybe a millimeter we can take off all the way around the side, and I'll wait. I think now's the time to do it, but oh, we still got that. I think we just had a chip fall out of the face because that wasn't there a second ago. See that little guy? All right. This one's got me a little bit of anxiety here, trying to make it work. It's so close to working out. Okay, we're right there. We're right there. By the time we polish, we'll be there. So I got to try and get that chip that came out, that just showed up, out. And here we have color across the face. A little bit directional, but maybe that'll get a little bit better as we polish and take it down just a little bit more. You have to be really careful on these ones that have a small end and a big end, because it takes just a minuscule amount of pressure. And I learned this grinding knives. You spend maybe 20, not even, maybe 100th of the time on the tip of the knife as you do on everything back from the curve. Because if you spend more time than that, you've eaten up your tip, you've lost it. The same thing is here. I barely only even tickle that tip, and I'm grinding on the backside, and I want them to both kind of work at the same pace. Okay, we're double checking one last time to make sure our shape is where we want it. And I like that. See if it fits in our setting. We won't go down any more on the sides if it fits in there. Ooh, we're not. So the base is slightly bigger than the top, so the base is going to be a little bit too big. So we can go down just a little bit more. And then we got to refine that. One last, well, it won't be one last. It's only one last if it fits, right? There. I think we're there. Now we'll just clean it up on the finishing wheel. Move to this one. I think we need to get that pencil mark off the top. Start going down. I don't want to go down any more than I have to right now, because this one was just about too small, or maybe already too small to fit in the ring setting that we're looking for. We have to have that sand come out. So that's what we're working on first. Otherwise it's pointless and we have to come down further in our size anyway. See that sand I'm talking about right there? And then now again we got to try and get that color bar to come through. We've got a little bit of a skin on the top. It's coming. Company, always on the run. Destiny, all with the rising song. Well, I was born, shotgun in my hands. I think we might be right there on the verge of working. We just need to make sure our shape is perfect now. That's going to be the issue. We'll have to hope one of the prongs hides that. If not, we're kind of torpedoed on it. But our sand is out of the face. See just a little bit of the remnant there that will come out now in the next phase. Our face is now, we're ready for final polish. And we're hoping that that little bit of skin comes off now in this stage. I never like to take it all the way down to where I want it to finish until I'm doing it at the finish, because it's kind of a habit you get from cutting thin color bars. And when you got thicker color bars, it doesn't hurt you at all. And that sand spot's just making it really hard to get this shape to be perfect. Okay, let's polish. What can happen, because that little sand spot is softer, if you're not careful how you come around, it'll warp up your shape again. So I'm going to almost just pass over it as I come around to get the scratches out of that side right there. But I think we successfully have kept our shape. I think we've got all the sand out of the top. Now it'll just be, can we get that color bar to pop enough to make it ring worthy? What do you think? Are we there? I still see some dirty on the top. We got color across the whole thing. It's not the brightest in there. It's probably B2 to B3 in brightness. Okay, I think that little polish helped us a little bit. It's subtle, but I think it's a little bit brighter. I would just call this aggressive polishing, where I need the top to come down a little bit, but I'm trying to do it in a way that won't put any scratches in the face to make me have to go any further once I hit where I want to be. It's just going to be whether or not the prong can hide that little sand right there. All right, I think we've got everything out of that stone that we can get. Where's our other one? Where's our fancy little teardrop? Talk to me softly, there's something in your eye. Don't hang your head in sorrow. Please don't cry. I know how you feel inside. I've been there before. Something's changing inside you, and don't you know? And don't you cry tonight. I still love you, baby. Don't you cry tonight. Give me a whisper and give me a sigh. Give me a kiss before you tell me goodbye. Don't you take it so hard now. Please don't take it so bad. I'll still be thinking of you. And the times we had, baby. Don't you cry tonight. Still want to try and get a little bit more color up to the top there. These two little stones are taking longer than I thought. Any of you that have stuck with me, I appreciate it. I really do. I try to leave everything in here so you don't miss any of the steps. And you get to be with it as much as possible. But I can tell you I enjoy every minute of this. But any of the rest of you do, thank you. Oh, you know what? Anybody that stuck through this, that's interested in the I think we got crack. I think we got a crack right there that just showed up, and right there that just showed up. Why? Anybody that's interested in the giveaway that I mentioned the other day about getting 100 carats out of my color jar, my has color, but I don't feel like cutting it jar. There are 100% going to be some cutters in there, some ringstones, really good color for inlay or anything like that. If you're interested, your comment on this video right here, we'll give it a couple of days and I'll pick somebody that comments on this video and send you out 100 carats of that. I still think that color could be coming through a little bit better. Okay, we went down one more again to try and get it to come through a little bit better. We make it better or worse? Certainly not worse. But out of nowhere, that crack showed up. Oh, what in the world? Little sand spot just showed up too. Going down in. Opal is a harsh mistress. So unforgiving. Look, that crack's going to go. Right there. Nothing we can do about it. Let's polish it and see what it would have been. Okay, well, let me show you what we got. I think we were okay on the size and shape of this one. It would have worked in this ring had it been a little thicker. Because of the height of the prongs on this setting, I would either have to cut the prongs down, but it really needs a higher domed, thicker stone to look right. Now this one, if you want to see, so our sand spot down here goes all the way up through. The further we went in, the more, all the way up to about here, the more that was just going to be a problem. So I wonder if, I guess here's our teardrop with one fatal flaw. This one actually turned out to be a really nice little stone. Unfortunately, that fatal flaw is fatal. There, that crack right there, it was there all along. Didn't reveal itself till we started polishing. Right dead through the center. So I'm wondering if we could, is this one, if we could substitute this stone for this stone by cutting it down, eliminating that sand spot, getting our teardrop pendant, and actually ended up winning on this. It's worth a try. It's worth a try. I'll dop it up and show you what we get out of it. Okay, so we want to eliminate that sand spot, not lose anything on our length, turn it into the teardrop. We'll probably go more egg-shaped than teardrop just because I think that setting will allow us. See how that sand still wants to come up through? I think that would work. Let's just clean it up a little bit. She's got a smile that it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories when everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky. And now and then when I see her face, it takes me away to that special place. And if I stared too long, I'd probably break down and cry. Whoa, oh, sweet child of mine. Whoa, 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 sweet love of mine. She's got eyes of the bluest sky, and if they thought of rain, I'd hate to look into those eyes and see an ounce of pain. Her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place where, as a child, I and pray for the thunder and the rain to quietly pass me by. Whoa, oh, sweet child of mine. Whoa, whoa, sweet love of mine. in the chair of the city gas chamber. Why I'm there I can't quite remember. There's no it's hazardous to breathe. I'd have another cigarette, but I can't see. Tell me who you're gonna believe. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Captain America's been torn apart now. He's a court jester with a broken heart. He says, turn me around and take me back to the start. I must be losing my mind. Are you blind? I've seen it all a million times. Alright, did we win or did we not? If those prongs will come in a little bit, I think that's going to win. It's going to work. Only problem is that sand spot. Alright. Here we go. So it could technically work here. Come on. It could technically work here. It's just dirt on the top there. Polishing compound. That one would technically work here. But it's not quite the right thickness for the setting. And you're always going to see that. So I can't make myself do it. But we have a third chance for this stone. We still have little Mr. 6mm here. But we should have plenty of stone to be able to cut that guy. So now our plan C for this stone is get rid of that pesky, stupid sand and cut ourselves the 6mm stone that we've needed for this beautiful little size 6 semi-mount ring. Kind of dirty. It's been getting polishing compound and everything on it. And that way we could still call this a win. Okay, let's look real quick at what we ended up with. There is our little teardrop that died a tearful death with a crack in it. It hasn't cracked in half yet, but it is going to. Man, it sure hurts to cut a stone down that far. It could have been slightly bigger, but we can now set this one, this little ring right here. So I'll do that real quick and show you how it ended up. I wanted to make sure we ended up with finally setting something and having a win for me and you. Hang on, I'll set this. I'll be right back. Okay, and there's our little ring. Would have been a shame to not be able to finish that one and get that beautiful stone set into something that we could enjoy. Thanks for sticking with me through it. Like I said, if you comment on this video, you'll be entered in to win at least 100 carats out of the chip jar with some extra little bit of stuff thrown in. And if you haven't subscribed, please like and subscribe. We'll just be cutting opals, setting opals, and hopefully finding good places to buy opals. Tell me what you think of that little ring. Would you have cut it 3 times to get it down to finally be useful? You'll notice if you look closely, I've cut these prongs down and then buffed the ends to be able to have them the right height for this setting. But I think they turned out just right.